and welcome to the program where we make fun of sales, training, and promotional films of the past. My name is Jason Reid. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Chris Mei. How are you doing, Chris?
I'm fine. I'm reporting from Baghdad this hour. I'm not sure what's going on with my Skype reception tonight. It makes it look like I'm in Kuala Lumpur on location.
Yes, Chris is being held hostage right now.
Yes, by somebody who's really, really mean. I mean, really, he's a Genesis fan. So, I mean, how mean could he be?
There we go. Well, at least we can hear you nice and crystal clear.
Yeah.
Today, we are going to be riffing and reviewing a film that takes us backstage, behind the scenes, at something which in 1958, when this film was created, was very new, and that is the supermarket.
Ooh, that... Here.
They were originally called Sweet FA.
S-U-I-T-E. It's a sweet FA.
So behind the scenes at the grocery store, didn't you work at one?
I worked in the supermarket when I was a kid, yeah.
Oh, cool. You can give us all the dirt.
This looks like a resort.
It's
Where is
early
this?
in the morning.
Somewhere in
Before
California.
This large supermarket opens for customers.
Early in the morning, but yet it seems like noon.
It does. It looks
I'm
like
the
high
manager
noon.
of the supermarket. And this is my son, Johnny.
At least I think he's my son.
This morning, I'm going to show Johnny what goes on
It's
behind the
take your
scenes here
kids to
before
work,
the
and
day's
Johnny
business
couldn't
can
be
begin.
happier.
Yeah, look at him. He's loving the idea of walking past the peanut butter.
A supermarket is like many little
Looks
markets or
like a
departments,
rapper's name.
all brought
P
together
apostrophe
into
nut.
one big building.
MC Peanut.
Each
MC
department
Peanut.
sells a different kind of food.
I'm going to put my lab coat on, Johnny, because I experiment with the
One
food.
of my jobs, I tell Johnny, is to see that the market has plenty of food to sell.
Number one rule, don't run out of food if you're a supermarket.
Especially
I
if you're
must
the
also
manager.
see that all the people who work in the market know what to do, and that they do their jobs well. My first job in the morning.
And Johnny's
going to
be
open the door
wondering
to
why
the
he's
rear
fascinated by
loading platform,
chains in
where
like 10
deliveries
years.
to the market are made.
Yeah, if there was goth back in the 50s, he would have went all goth on us, too.
There we go.
What are they doing over there, Dad?
He's pointing in
When
the
I
other
there.
side of the
truck backing
street.
in, Johnny, it's bringing some of the food the market will sell.
That's the grocery store that can afford to have food. And our store can't. So, Johnny, I need you to run across and grab some rutabagas.
Here's a man unloading vegetables and fruit from a vegetable or produce truck.
He is known as the fruit or vegetable man.
I think he's known as the fruit or vegetable man.
The vegetables and
Indeed.
fruit are taken to a storage room in the back of the market. Here they are cleaned.
Another close-up on Johnny, but he says
It takes
nothing.
a great deal of work to prepare the vegetables.
What?
so they
Oh,
will be
yeah, that
clean
looks
enough to sell
exhausting.
to customers.
It does. It takes a lot of effort to turn the
On
tap
the inside
on
of this truck,
and then turn
a
it
roller
off.
Track carries cartons of canned and paper
I love the
goods
fashion
to the
sense
market.
back then.
I love how busy that guy looks. That also looks really grueling.
Whee!
Why are the boxes upside down?
A
Who
moving
loaded
belt
the boxes
inside
upside
the
down?
building
You
carries
The guy in
got
the
one
bad
job
shirt.
for this
Second
video.
floor
Make sure the
storage
boxes are right side up.
Well, these ones are right side
Here,
up.
they are taken off the belt and stacked on storage shelves until
Wow, that
needed.
looks cared for.
Jeez. That's like grandma's closet.
It does. It looks like grandma's pantry or a bomb shelter in somebody's basement.
Exactly.
Johnny watches boxes of frozen food being
It looks like
unloaded
a
from
bomb shelter in the
refrigerated
Cuban
truck.
Missile Crisis, for crying
One
out
of my
loud.
helpers explains that a refrigerated truck is like a large icebox on wheels.
Yeah. More silent pictures.
This is
Hardly
the
wait till
market's
we can
frozen
evolve
food
into the
line.
talkies.
Frozen food from the truck is put
Oh,
inside
he's just
this
going to go
locker
right
room
into the
to be
freezer.
kept frozen until it
What
is
in the
needed
world
for
is he
customers.
doing?
Fruit and vegetable guy is like, get the hell out of here, kid.
This truck is
Johnny's so
refrigerated food.
caffeinated, he's going to be jumping
In it,
onto the meat
big
hooks
pieces
next.
of meat are brought to the
Oh
market.
yeah, he's gonna ride
The
that
meat is hung on hooks
like he's at
from an
Six
overhead
Flags.
slide.
Yahoo! Look at me
It
go!
can be easily moved.
It's Johnny and the beef.
The meat is pushed into a refrigerated room to be kept cold.
Well, we
and
may not
fresh.
be able to hear what they
until it is
say,
ready
but
to
we
be
can
cut up
hear
for
the
sale.
sound of that meat hook roller.
Yeah. How is it that we have so much BG? We have a voiceover studio. Still, we don't have a microphone. We can even ask a simple question to get a simple answer.
Maybe they were
Mr.
just
Dale,
bad
My
actors.
meat department manager.
Maybe we didn't
Shows
want to
us
hear
the
them
meat he
speak.
is going
Maybe
to
they
cut
were
today.
spoken, and then they had to overdub this, and this is the second version.
Don't touch Mr. Dale's meat, son.
Johnny, get your finger
In
out the
the
meat.
cutting room, the meat is cut to prepare it for sale.
Just put my hand on the butcher block.
Oh, Johnny, get your nose out of there, man. The butcher's got a saber, and
This
he puts
meat
his
has been
eye in there.
ground into hamburgers.
What's happening?
The cut and ground meat travels on rollers to the packaging and
It's a
weighing.
hamburger
Hey.
roller coaster.
Looks like where you return empties at a beer store.
Yeah, they roll it back with empty buns.
With empty
In this
buns.
room, packages of meat are made ready for selling. Since food must be kept very clean, the packages are
Here,
carefully wrapped
Put
and
more
labeled.
meat in this.
They are covered with cellophane and then sealed with a hot iron.
A hot iron. We got chains. We've got a hot iron. What store is this?
Johnny's going to be twisted by the end of this day.
Each package is weighed.
Ethel
and
Mertz weighing
weight
the
and
meat.
price are
Oh,
marked on the
Ethel, oh
label.
my gosh. That's exactly what it looks like.
Finally, the wrapped meat is ready to be put into a refrigerated display case
Yeah,
in the
so
front of the
Johnny's
market.
really helping here.
From it,
Johnny, stop touching the
customers
meat.
may
buddy.
choose
Seriously,
what they
stop
want.
touching the meat.
Oh,
This
look at all
case
that
keeps
prime
the meat
rib. Look how
cold and
huge
fresh
those are.
until it is ready
Oh,
to
that
be
is
taken
one
home.
heck of a meat department.
Of course, it's the 1950s. 90% of
The
your meal
vegetables
is
are
going to be
taken
meat.
from their storage room as they
Yeah,
are needed.
people hadn't
and
actually
attractively
read a book
arranged
yet.
in the display cases in front of the market.
Notice
Many
how
different
small
kinds
the
of
packages of
and
vegetables
fruit,
are,
too,
especially the
are displayed.
carrots.
Yeah, they used to actually portion way better back then than we do now. Now it's more is better.
By all means, display the fruits and vegetables, because
This
otherwise
chute
people won't know
carries
you're selling
cartons
them.
of canned and paper goods from their upstairs storage room
More
to
shoots.
the market's
Whee!
main floor.
More fun for Johnny when the store's closed.
Oh, yeah. He's going to go wild.
Cans of food are put on the shelves. The price is
Oh,
stamped
that's
on
good.
each
Put
can,
cans of food on
so the
shelves.
customers and the cashier
That is actually a really good idea to put the cans of food
know
on
how much
shelves
each
as opposed to
costs.
just leaving it in their boxes. Oh, wait, I just described Costco.
Yeah. Over there,
packages
Joe.
of
Over
frozen
there.
food
Over
are
there. Put it
also
over there.
placed in a
No, it goes
refrigerated
over there.
display case.
No, not there. It goes.
Many
goes.
different kinds of
Yeah,
frozen food.
his worker's
are
like,
offered
I
for
know,
sale.
I know, I know, I know. Nothing really has changed much.
Meanwhile,
Wow,
I check
except
on
for
some
the
signs
fancy
needed for
illustrator
tomorrow's
doing the
sale.
signs.
That's changed.
I tell my
I don't know that I've ever
sign
seen
maker what the sale
a
price will
cartoon
be.
artist or sketch
The
artist
signs will be used in the windows of the
working.
market.
I thought those things were just printed by computers. Oh, wait a minute. That's probably why they weren't doing that in 1958.
Yeah.
Back in my office,
Wow, you could actually get a
Johnny
job
sees
with
some of
your
the other work
art
necessary
degree.
to help run the
Yeah.
market.
You could get a job at a kindergarten if you knew how to work crayons. Hey, look, another
This is
close-up
my
on Johnny.
secretary.
He's not doing anything.
She's working on
He's,
the sales.
he's checking
record
out the
of
sexy
yesterday's
secretary there whose paper
business. I
matches
must
her
know
dress.
How much food was sold the day before.
Oh, it really does. Both
so I
things are
can
rose
order
color.
more if it is
It's
needed.
that Pepto-Bismol color.
She's
Maybe it's
not filling out a
symbolic.
ledger. She's filling out her
This is my
Proline ticket.
bookkeeper. She's adding up some bills for me to pay. Now, Johnny, how would you like to open the market? Just push this buzzer.
Wow, it's like Batman. A buzzer
Very
you
cool.
push
He's
that
getting
opens
hold
the
of
store?
Commissioner
The doors
Gordon.
are open. Here come the customers. One of the first customers to come in this morning is Johnny's mother.
He didn't say my wife.
She's
He
come
just
to
said
do her
Johnny's
shopping.
mother.
That was noticeably
pick up Johnny.
absent.
While I go back to work.
Ooh, well.
Oh, oh, oh.
As
Shots
they shop,
fired. Shots
Johnny tells
fired.
his mother what he's learned about
I think
the
we see
supermarket.
now why he didn't marry her.
And why it's just
All the
Johnny's
big trucks
mother.
Come
Yeah.
every day. bringing different kinds of food to the back loading platform.
Oh, so Johnny's going to go through this again, shot by shot, while his mother
While the
rolls her
cartons
eyes.
of food are unloaded from the trucks and
okay,
moved
do
to
it for your
storage
mom, but
room.
we don't need to about what goes on behind the scenes. I don't think we need to go back over the
How
whole
the
tour
vegetables
again.
are cleaned.
Yep.
How the meat
Yeah,
is
did
cut
that, yeah,
and
meat.
wrapped to keep it clean.
Remember the hot
towel,
tongs?
Hot tongs.
How the clerks put the food in the display cases
Display
and
food,
arrange
that's
it on the
good.
shelves. What the office
Good
workers do,
technique. Good technique on the cans. I mean,
and some
on
of
the shelf.
things
On the
I
shelf.
must do before the customers arrive. Johnny and his mother have completed and paid for their shopping.
Johnny's mother
Today,
again.
Johnny's learned that a great many things go on
He's
behind the
making that
scenes.
really
of the
clear that it's
supermarket.
Johnny's mother because I'm still single, ladies.
Yeah, he said a great many things go on behind the scenes of the store as he was touching Johnny's mother as she left. There's more here than meets the eye, Chris. So that, Chris, was the story of a love child between the supermarket store manager and a random lady shopper.
Yeah, who he refused to call his wife. This is Johnny's mother. They're going to wander around the grocery store while I work for a living.
Yeah, and of course that cryptic line about, interesting things go on behind the scenes at a supermarket.
I noticed he said that towards the end when he had his arm around the woman that he refused to identify as his wife, just Johnny's mother.
There we go. So besides shenanigans in the back room, Chris, was there a lot that you found similar in 1958 to what you experienced when you were working in a supermarket?
Oh my gosh, yes. But the difference between 1958 and 1985, almost no difference. It was arduous work having to wash the lettuce, apparently.
They went to great pains to tell us how difficult that was as they showed the guy, just spraying.
That's what a union will do. The union will tell the manager, you make sure you let people know that we work very, very hard, okay? We here at the UFCW want to make sure about that. So I grew up working in the Steinberg Miracle Food Mart family for about 4 or 5 years. And it's almost exactly the same, man. Like, it truly is almost exactly the same. Like right up and including the big, huge sides of beef being put on a hook and conveyor belted into the locker room. That was cool. That was actually a cool video to watch.
Yeah, and it was cool for me too because it brought back an interesting memory for me. So when I was a kid, one of my earliest memories is visiting my grandmother who lived in this village called Madoc, Ontario. And Madoc is an interesting place. I'm gonna talk about this in a minute because it's so old school. And even back in like 1970, it seems so old school. So she lived on Main Street in this sort of apartment building. Above her was the Oddfellows Lodge. And below her apartment was Kincaid's grocery store. And for some reason, this really reminded me of Kincaid's grocery store. And I think it was because her windows faced onto the back. And when we would go out the back door to the parking lot, you would see the trucks coming in and the doors would be open and you could see sort of behind the scenes at the supermarket.
Right.
But this is another thing that I remember. This is really old school is in the parking lot, there was a well, like an old school, like water well with like bricks around it and a little roof. And it said Kincaid's IGA on it. And that was their source of water. They had faucets and stuff that they would. And so it was just like old school and fascinating. So here is Madoc, Ontario in 1958, the exact same year that this movie was made. And I'll tell you
the same year that we saw that Mayfair grocery store.
Yeah. And the IGA at that point was called a red and white. And it is on the right side of the photo. You see that red dot, that is the grocery store. Now, I want to transition a little bit here because I absolutely love and continue to love this place because of what you see here. depending on how you were situated on the main street, it looked like you were in any town USA. Like this looks like it could be part of Kansas City or Oklahoma or Toronto or Montreal. Like it actually looks like kind of a city street. But it's a village. So what you don't see is you go, half a block in either direction and there's nothing. But when you're on the street and you're looking down, particularly this way on the street, it looks like it could be anywhere. And I always thought, this would make a great movie set, because if you wanted to shoot something from like the 30s to the 50s,
right?
You could do it here and it could look like pretty much any city at that time.
But does it still look like that now?
It still looks exactly like this. Obviously, different cars. The stores have different names, but still exactly the same. But here's where it gets really cool, and here's where it connects to movies and television, is I noticed when I watched certain TV shows when I was a kid that they reminded me of this place. And I found out later in life when I became a film geek that the RKO movie studio had a backlot in Culver City, California, where everything was shot. Even after RKO went out of business, everything from Andy Griffith, Star Trek, Leave It to Beaver, tons of shows were shot in this backlot that was basically created for the movies, these little tiny streets. And I actually found some pictures to show you, and this is from Star Trek, and these are from episodes where they actually go back to Earth at different times, or maybe they're on a different planet.
Those are some of my favorite episodes.
And you look and you see the buildings are very much the same. The streets are short. The buildings were built at the same time. So whenever I was on Main Street, I felt like I was in these Star Trek episodes. It was really fascinating. And it's still like that. I still love going in there today for the exact same reason.
That is a mind blow.
But the interesting thing is, actually both of these photos, you're not only looking at Star Trek, you're also looking at the village of Mayberry. So in Andy Griffith, these are the exact same buildings.
Are you serious?
The exact same buildings, yes. And if you go around the corner on this street, you'll actually find the Leave It to Beaver house.
Oh my gosh, this is the same sound studio?
Yeah. And that was a look at Hollywood backlots, courtesy of a roundabout story of my memories of a supermarket.
I was going to say, I was looking forward to backstage at a supermarket. You took us backstage in Hollywood.
Well, we cover all the angles here at Cheezy Sales Cinema, which is why you should subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, you subscribe and you're always going to be reminded as to when the next episode's available, and you have access to all the episodes that have already come.
So for Chris Mei, my name is Jason Reid. We will see you next time.